Hey people, I wanted to just do a little video and I'm going to tell a little story. Maybe a part one. I'm going to break this down into little branches of videos. Don't really have the energy to incorporate all of the parts together, do like a whole 30, 40-minute video. So I want to break this down. But it's just been bothering me for a little bit and I just decided to come on here and just talk about what I'm dealing with. 'Cause I don't really have nobody to really talk to this about that's willing to listen. So, and I hate when you have family that always talk about how I'm here if you need to talk, but when it's when it's not really the best time for that person to listen, they don't really want to hear what I gotta say. This is why I um I shun people. I avoid the hell out of certain family. But a couple months ago, around around April of this year, longer than a couple couples too. More like several months ago, I went to a center. I went to a center for autism. It was supposed to be for a case that I had against someone. So I've known about what autism is. I've known about it for close to 9 years. I've never had an understanding of what it was prior to that. So For since 2011, I had a good understanding of it because a school sex therapist, sex educator, told me what it was, and since I didn't have a parent present at the time, she couldn't really do too much. She couldn't do everything there is to get an official test done. So I was just told that you you meet all the symptoms and it's a good possibility you have it. And I said, that it can explain a lot of things. So, you know, I was like, all right. And from that point on, I didn't really have a lot of the power and the strength to do things on my own, especially when it comes to talking with people over the phone or making appointments. I think one time I tried to order a pizza, and the lady was talking so fast. She was sounding a little rude over the phone. I was like, I just didn't like the way she talked to me, and I just said, I don't. From this point on, I don't. I will never go to restaurants and order food over the phone or go in person because people. It just makes me really nervous going to places and ordering food, especially when people are standing around. I can't really express or say the words that I want to say. So anyway, from 2011 to about 2019, I just always had that whole identity. I didn't really tell a lot of people, but I just said, yeah, this is what's wrong with me because every job I've had, every school I went to, I've always been like the oddball, the weirdo in the group, and I would never disclose certain things about me, but people could tell this guy's off, this guy's this and that. So, you know, and there would be people who just didn't care at all. So, people who didn't care, I would, you know, converse and hang out with them. But anyway, I didn't have it wasn't in my records at all. And that's what bothered me. It wasn't any proof of what I deal with because everything that's going on right now, like I said, it's I guess you could say it's like a brain. It's all in the brain. Like some 5 things I can say right now that are affecting me. My reading, I got into reading about 5 years ago. Well, excuse me, 3 years ago, and I always have to start over what I read. That has been going on for 3 years. I can't stop. It's it's nearly impossible to like read a book, read an entire book without starting over. I've never gotten over past chapter one in any book I've read that is advanced because it's impossible to read past chapter one without reading it over and over and over. So that's affecting me. Another thing that's affecting me is my problems with people. I can't really build relationships with people at all. Don't know how. Don't know how to like ask for someone's phone number. A bigger problem is I don't know how to build relationships with people my own age. I tend to really like what do you say? I tend to befriend people that are younger than me because they tend not to really judge as much or care. Like I think the youngest friend that I ever had was 12-year old, and the youngest I don't know where I don't like the word friend, but as a coworker I get along with pretty well. He's 17. He doesn't really care at all how crazy the things I say or how I act, and he's rather understanding of everything that I'm dealing with. But yeah, friendships are and relationships at work are really hard to do. My reading is really hard to do. My eating habits are impossible. I think that's what's really setting me back because I'm sensitive to a lot of foods, and this has been going on. Really, it started around like age 7 or 6, like 2001. There are foods that I cannot eat, and I'll eat them one minute and then not the next, and I'll grow sensitive to the taste or the aftertaste in my mouth or the way it feels or just the way like if it's like with like if they put things on paper plates, I can't eat on paper plates anymore. Or like if it's a paper plate, it has to be like it can't be pancakes on the paper plate. It can't be like snacks on the paper plate. You can't eat anything that's on like a tablecloth. It's a lot of stuff that I feel that's really unusual about me, and I don't really think that it's natural at all. This is what I mean. Because I'm one of those conspiracy theorists who believes that vaccines are responsible for autism and like brain disorders. I think vaccines play a role in them. Because I don't know anyone in my family that has autism. We don't. I've asked a bunch of times, and no one knows. But yeah, those like the foods that I eat, because I can't to save my life. I can't eat healthy. It's not enough. I don't have enough energy when I eat healthy, and the foods that are healthy, they taste disgusting. I rather eat something that I enjoy. But when I eat what I enjoy, I'm always tired. I can't focus. I'm always falling asleep. So it's like food, relationships, my reading, and one more thing I guess top of my head would be because I will say this: when you are, I don't like to say the word bully. I don't think that's the I don't really believe in that anymore, bullying. But when you are through a lot of adversity, like myself, where you have like been robbed and you've been you've worked jobs that are pretty demanding, you've worked around really shady people, you tend to kind of like conceal certain things about yourself to avoid being ridiculed at work. It's like I remember this older guy. And I won't forget him. He told me, because I was really goofy around him, and he was telling me, like, the way you act, that's how people treat you. It's like when you act like a fool, they'll treat you like one. And some people may consider that offensive, but I said to myself, he's right. People told me, you can control the way you act. And let me just second part to figure.